Hello and welcome along to another episode of this Ashes Test match from Cricket 22 with me, Daniel. We're visiting with England to Australia down under, and at the first test at the Gabba, we're in today too, and we're in with the bat for the first time in this series. We put Australia out for just over 300. We've had a decent start with the bat in the last episode. If you've missed any of that, you can find it up in the eye above. It's been a really good start to the series, very evenly matched so far. And of course, we'll be continuing with a session every single episode until we get to the end of this test match. Hopefully, we'll be able to come out on top as well. So if you're looking forward to that and you are enjoying the series, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from Two Long-Term Stories. It's a massive week in that one in both of those saves. And we'll also be here 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday and Saturday morning UK time, to continue our Ashes test from Cricket 22. You can find links to all of the key playlists and the podcast channel and live streams on Twitch up in the eye above. A massive thank you for your support with everything. And I hope you're getting into the festive spirit as we go into our second day and our second session after lunch. We'll be back in a minute to reflect on the scorecard, just a quick roundup of where we are. And then we'll have highlights from the next session. 30 odd overs with the bat. Hopefully, no more England batting collapses. So a quick reminder of where we are after lunch at the end of the last episode. We bowled Australia out for 313 with 1 over to spare on day 1. We are now 98 for 2 after 30 overs. Rory Burns top scorer so far with 39. Him and Hasib Hamid both out. Hamid for 13 to Nathan Lyon. But David Malan and Joe Root rebuilding. 17 and 13 respectively. And crucially, they survived that onslaught of spin before lunch. We are going to try and sweep a bit more, particularly with the right-hander to Nathan Lyon. But I'd imagine we're going to get a fresh lot of seamers after lunch who are ready to hit the deck hard again. So let's have a look at our scorecard so far with the bat. This is basically where we are. We're scoring at just over 3 and over. We were slowed down by the spinner massively. And those couple of wickets didn't help us. But if we can rebuild with those two, maybe get a 50 somewhere, we should be able to reach that 300 score that Australia managed. As we've seen before though, in real life and in Cricket 22, England are always capable of a batting collapse. Let's go and get into the session and see if through the highlights we can survive it. If we defend well, there might not be too many highlights. Expect a short episode. And immediately after lunch, the skipper is in to try and face his fellow man Joe Root. It's a full delivery, it's forced to defend. It's an excellent ball. Pat Cummins starting after lunch in style. Of course, day 2 and 3 should be the best conditions for this pitch. What we're waiting for is one on the stumps like that we can play away to the leg side and nick a run or two from. It was the crucial thing we didn't really do prior to lunch, which was rotate the strike enough. We managed to get a comfortable 2 there. It moves England onto 100 and Joe Root onto 15. A few more of those would be lovely. Well, as the penultimate ball comes in, I've got to say it's been a pretty good over from Cummins, despite the 2 runs. Couple of short ones as well. That one's flown over the wicket-keeper for 4. We'll take 3 runs whenever we can get them, because we've not been scoring that quickly. England on to 104. Well, Pat Cummins has followed up the 4 byes with a no ball. Not the best over from him post-lunch. That one's outside off, though. We'll live with this all day. 105 for 2, 7 added in the first over. And surprisingly, it's Cam Green who stays in. Playing to the left-hander Malan, we were able to get a fair few singles off him before lunch. And he's playing onto that leg side again. Malan hits it away to the man in a deep, just going to be a single. If we can just get 3 or 4 off of his, keep it ticking over. No threat to the wicket, that'd be lovely for us. To be honest, the only thing we've really struggled with when facing Cam Green is the fact that at times he's been able to be deceptive with his pace. But that one was short and it was pretty feeble in truth. We're only going to get 1 out of it, but Root continues the rotation. It's another couple off the first 4 balls. Pat Cummins stays at the other end. He is the most expensive bowler so far. That one's on the stumps for Root. Oh, mistimed and just outside off. Any straighter might have been a good LB shout. Still trailing by over 200. It's not a time we really want to lose Joe Root. That's a much better shot though. Right onto the pads. Should be 2 for it. And we'll stay on strike because Malan, I don't trust quite as much against the seamers. That moves Root onto 18. He joins Malan on that score. This one, oh, just beats the edge. We got beaten all ends up there as Pat Cummins halfway through the over. 2 very good balls and 1 pretty poor one. Bowling in at the stumps, that's easy to get away. Probably only 1, not quite as much power. But he's still giving away a few runs. I guess he's aiming for the wicket a bit more. Interesting field to Malan. We've got a space through point if we get 1 outside off. But I think for now, we'll probably just leave Easier said than done. It's a wild swing. Discipline. Discipline in your strokes. And here comes the finger spin of Nathan Lyon. We're going to try sweeping him. We're 110 for 2. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a few runs off him. If it's outside off, we're going to leave it. We're not going to play with reverse sweeps this early in a test match. But for now, I'd like to sweep to the leg side if possible. Final ball of the over for Lyon. He's on for another maiden. Can he finish it off? Oh, we go for the sweep. We miss it by a mile. Nathan Lyon straight through. Good maiden from him. We continue our trouble against the spinners. However, we have been picking up some runs elsewhere. We're still on 110 for 2. It's not a bad score. And Cummins has given us a few poor balls in every over. There's another one. That's a beautiful shot from David Malan. Should only be one because the fielder's round quick. But on to 111. We keep that strike rate ticking over. Well, both batsmen set on 19, but Cummins just bowling wide outside off. It's making it so easy to defend. No, that one's at the stumps. It's Yorker length though. It's a half volley. And Joe Root will just smash that away for 4. On to 23. Make the most of the bad ball. That's the golden rule of Test cricket. Excellent start to the session from England. 17 runs off 5 overs. As Lyon's in again, Malan can put that away for 1. Looks very comfortable to the finger spinner. Root maybe not so much, but we'll try and get that sweep out and working. Joe Root looking for the sweep as Nathan Lyon comes in again. That's a lovely shot. That's what we need to be doing more. Just put them away for 1s to the leg side and just make them change the field. That's what we've got to do. Lyon now coming around the wicket to Malan, which might be problematic. I think we're going to have to be a little bit more defensive here. Less it straight at the stumps like that. That's easy singles all day long. 3 off the over so far. We're getting used to Lyon a little bit. As Joe Root will face the final ball of the over. I'd imagine this will be wide based on the field. It's not. It's an easy sweep. And we found our style. 4 off the over. England 119 for 2. Well, Mitchell Starc is back in doing what he does best. Keeping it economical at the minute and producing some nasty deliveries. Only going at 2 and over. That one's outside off, but it's well hit from Joe Root. Saw the gap in mid-wicket and just takes the single. He's probably happy to get off strike. This has been a beautiful over from Lyon. 4 balls gone and then he delivers an awful one. That's going to be a wide. And there's the free run. It just keeps the score ticking over without us doing much. Final ball of the over. The only runs so far has been the wide. That one is a little bit of a sweep. Doesn't quite make it. But Malan gets through for 1. The wicket-keeper had to chase. And we move on to 1-2-2. It's given us a bye. Here comes Mitchell Starc again then. This is where we start to struggle in these matches. As this one, right onto the leg pads. Oh, tiny deflection off the bat. And we'll manage to get through for 1 as the wicket-keeper chases. But this is where we struggle and get ill-disciplined. Starc and Lyon, definitely their most economical and troublemaking combination. And for us, we've just got to see it out and get Hazlewood and Cummins back on in 10 overs. Over the wicket to David Malan. Short ball gets out the way. Final ball of another economical Starc over. Just 1 off it so far, and it was a little bit of an edge if we're being honest. That one straight at Malan's pads though, and that's an easy finish. Single for him, he'll keep the strike. England onto 1-2-4. Nathan Lyon continues to the left-hander. We'll leave them outside off, and we'll flick them off the pads. That's the plan here. Oh, edge. Big edge. But we get away with it. It stays low. That was a scare. Lyon into Malan, causing him all sorts of trouble so far. Oh, it was an edge. It bounced awkwardly and then it was dropped. This is really poor from Malan. And this is where the discipline comes in. Every ball has been on the stumps. We would expect singles here. But because of the lack of runs, we just lost a bit of confidence. There's a good shot though. Should go for a comfortable one. Joe Root will face the last ball. Starc in again here as we pass the 40 over mark. But we've just got to be disciplined. We know we're not scoring many off Starc and Lyon. Just stay in, do your job, and that will help massively. Big shot from Malan. Might go all the way. If not, it's a comfortable 2 or 3. We've already run 2. There's the third. And it's almost as good as a boundary at this point. Root comes on to strike. Malan moves past 25 as well. And here comes Nathan Lyon. 13 runs off 10 overs. He's been ridiculously good. That one, little bit poor though. Easy single for David Malan. And Root has the fielder to prevent the sweep again. Unfortunately, we're not going to trust it. And we managed to get it away well. That's a sign of confidence. Another single and rotating a strike to Lyon. Excellent stuff. On to 130. Joe Root, the skipper, facing Mitchell Starc. Looking to get into the 30s. But for now, Not really threatening the wicket too much. That's a good bit of fielding though. It prevents the single. Is it going to be overthrows? It is. We're going to get 4 for it. We did that a couple of times when we were bowling. So it's nice to see one back for us. Root onto 32 without hitting a shot. And Stark comes in again. Takes all the pressure off this over. Out the way of another short one. That's gone through for 4 as well. 8 runs off the over without hitting a run scoring shot. Well, Mitchell Stark completely lost track of a slower ball there. Went wide, actually caught by the first slip. Let's see what happens with this one. Bit better into the stumps, beats the outside edge. England 139 for 2. Going at 4 so far, Hazelwood, but this start has been magnificent. Pace is down for all the bowlers though, so maybe signs of fatigue there. This one's into the stumps, hooked away Milan. It was so slow, he had time to go across his stumps. And should get a comfortable 2 here. Back on strike, and England into the 140s. This is looking very promising. I've got to say, this has been a really poor over from Cummins. They've not really threatened the wicket. They've been the easiest leaves in the world. Until that one, where we try and do a bit too much, and that just misses the stumps. Don't get complacent now. We want to get to 150 without losing a wicket. As Cummins in over the wicket again. Only the wide off the over so far. That's a good ball. Edged. Where's it going? Warner's chasing it. Smith's chasing it. But they're not going to get there. We had one of those with Burns very early on. We've not had too many edges off the seam bowlers. But Joe Root gets very fortunate. 4 runs. And that moves him on to 36. Undeservedly, it's got to be said. Well, another 5 added. And Hazelwood coming back in now. Space on the leg side yet again. And it's just so easy from Hazelwood. He's bowling at a pretty average pace, albeit that's slightly quicker at the start of this over. And he's not really finding that line outside off since the first couple of balls of his spell. So another 4 for Milan, his into the 30s too. And we move on to 150. That's the big target. Let's get to 175 next. Final ball of the over for Josh Hazelwood. Is one finally going to come in at the stumps? It is. And it should be at least a single. Might even be 2. The fielder's a bit slow there. And Milan will get back. That's excellent work. Milan moves on to 35. And that is 6 off the over. As we pass the drinks break, an over early there. Or an over late, sorry, this time around. We play away on the leg side for a single off Pat Cummins. Joe Root adding to his total again. You can see immediately as these two are back in, it's a lot easier to tick over. They're trying to take wickets. They're trying to bowl line and length. And anything they miss, it makes it a little easier. But 16 overs before the drinks break. I guess with that extra spin, maybe that's how we get there. Big shot from Joe Root. It wasn't intentional. How on earth did we get that out there? 4 runs. Excellent shot. But off the short ball, we were trying to play defensively from Milan. He moves on to 39 and overtakes Root. Third ball of the over from Cummins. Already conceded 5 runs. He's going to be a little bit downhearted by that. And that one's going to be another single. We are really taking advantage now after a slow start to the session. Well, that single moved Milan on to a 40. Root is not far behind. And we'll be hoping that we can get them both to half centuries. Just build a little partnership. There's another single for Root. We're really going along well here. We've not looked under huge threat since Lyons come out the attack. Of course, don't forget, it's a pitch that's not doing much. It's a dry, hard, classic pitch at the Gabba. We should be scoring big runs. And Milan has hit another single. It's so easy on the leg side. They're not bringing the fielder in those two because they want the wicket. But they've got to hit that 4-stump line. Final ball of the over. On for a maiden. Milan has swung at a few in this one. It's not been a great over. That one's at the stumps though. And he gets his gift at the end. We've just got to be patient. He runs for a single. And we move on to 161. Well, Pat Cummins, the skipper, this has been his best over by a million miles. It's been brilliant until then. Got caught on the stumps again, just drifted towards leg. And Milan can get off strike, but he'll be pretty pleased with that because he faced a torrid 3 balls. Joe Root is on. There's space on the leg side. There is the option for a cover drive if the right ball presents itself. But don't want to get too complacent as we've edged one. Oh, why? Why did we do it? Ill discipline. The skipper goes. Pat Cummins takes the main man. And Joe Root is out. No point challenging that. What was he on? 40? 38 off 89. Stayed in, but a crucial wicket for Australia. They'll fancy their chances of rattling us out now. Ben Stokes makes it 2 left-handers at the crease. And this ball is just going to be defended. 162 for 3 as Pat Cummins around the wicket to the left-hander. Short ball to rough him up first, but it beats everything and we somehow nick 4 off it. Hazelwood over the wicket to Milan, who's got to take on the onus here, the responsibility of getting a big score. He's on 43, he gets that one away. Might just be one, thought about a second, it's not coming. 6 off the half century, Milan's got to get there. Final ball of the over for Stokes. Full, just outside off stump. Poor misjudgment, but for Stokes, we just need a poor ball on leg stump that he can get a run off. Get him off the mark, and let's build confidence. Milan back on strike to Cummins. Got that crucial wicket in his last over. What can he do with this? Over the wicket to David Milan. Straight at the stumps. Good shot. Should be at least 2. He's hit that pretty well. The fielder's going to take a while to get there, and they'll come back. Stokes stays at the non-striker's end. England 169 for 3 with those 2 runs. Milan just 4 away from his half century if he can find the right shot. Straight at the stumps, that'll help. Might not be 4, but should be another couple. The fielder's not out there, and it's pretty easy work. This might even be 3, you know. It's a much bigger shot. It's gone all the way. David Milan gets to 50, and what a man he's been in this innings. Burns and Root getting to that 35-40 mark and getting stuck, but not David Milan. 6 fours, lots of good running between the wickets, and a strike rate of almost 60. 50 off 86 balls, and takes England into the 170s, as Cummins, just losing his line again, had 2 overs, where he bowled beautifully outside off. And now he's just got out of shape again. That's going to be another single, and Milan will get his 7th run of the over. What that means is Ben Stokes back on strike, halfway through the over to Pat Cummins. At the stumps, lovely little punch away to mid-wicket. No fielder there, should be 1, and they're going to get back for 2. Pat Cummins has been well off his line this over. He's either got to go around the wicket, or bowl how he did the 2 overs before, because they were his best overs, and he's gone backwards now. 9 off the over, it's been oh so easy. And Stokes gets off the mark, 2 from 7 for him. Cummins in again, lovely ball, easily dealt with, away to the leg side. This is a horrible over from Cummins. Maybe just got arrogant. Got Joe Root out and thought it was job done. But he's gifted Stokes 4 runs in 2 balls there. Well, we knew this would happen as soon as there were 2 left-handed batsmen at the crease. Although, Mitchell Starc has lost a lot of pace here. Maybe it is a stamina thing. But Stokes and Milan are going to have to weather the storm here. We need to get to tea without losing another wicket. And it doesn't matter if we don't score many. It is the 22nd over of the session as well, so not a huge amount of time to go. That ball's drifted from Starc. It was a tired one. Was a pace ball as well, but easy to get away. The boundary rope and the outfield has really slowed down. But we are still going to get 3. Milan brings Stokes back on strike. He's looking so confident, is David Milan. Penultimate ball of the over for Starc. Stokes just looking for that poor ball to get away. That might be it. Only going to be a single. Doesn't quite time it in positionally. But that's going to be a nice one. 182 for 3. Ben Stokes on to 5. Only 131 away from the Australian score now. And that collapse doesn't look like it's coming from the England batting lineup. That one's straight and full at the stumps. And Milan gets it away. You don't bowl one of those to a very confident batsman, because he gets a comfortable 2. England 184 for 3. David Milan on 56. He is the star of the innings so far. Not been Pat Cummins' day, has it? He's gone for 70 off 14 overs. He's almost been the bowler we've aimed to target, as Stokes has played him beautifully down the ground. What a shot that is. Trademark from Ben Stokes. And I think it's going to run all the way. It's going to go for 4. It's a delightful shot, and one of the first down the ground we've seen in a whole day's play. Well, in steams Cummins again. The last delivery was much better. Just outside off, harder to get away. This one's short, has to be left, but it goes all the way for 4. That happens a little bit too much in Cricket 22 for my liking. But still, we'll take it. 4 more runs into the 190s. And the beauty with that Stokes shot at the start of the over is that they've now covered that gap on the leg side. And that's a really poor ball. Oh my word, Ben Stokes looks like he's been batting all year. It's a fabulous shot. Goes for 4. 12 off the over, albeit 4 of them byes. And after all our slow run rate troubles, Ben Stokes going at almost 1 a ball off 15. Tries to play down the ground again. Oh, tiniest edge. Don't get complacent. You've got so many runs off the over. You're looking good. Don't play something silly. Final ball of the Mitchell Starc over. Can we add any runs, or will it be a maiden? It's onto the pads. Hit away, but straight to the fielder. Maiden for Mitchell Starc. Only 30 runs off 12 overs. With 54 gone, we're sitting pretty on 196 for 3. Not seen much of Cam Green either. I wonder if we'll get any of him before the tea break. Stokes knocks that away for 1. Any on the pads? Just glance a single. and we can go confident like that. 198 for 3 now. Around the wicket to David Malan this time, who has struggled a little bit more with the spin, it's got to be said. That one's glanced away though. Easy singles, Lyon just losing his line. Stokes back on strike on 14, just 1 run away from 200. It's been an excellent session so far, and Stokes does bring the 200 up for England. He moves on to 15, Malan doing brilliantly in the 50s. England 200 for 3, about 5 overs till tea. If we can avoid losing a wicket, it's been a lovely session. Mitchell Starc back in over the wicket to Ben Stokes, who to be fair has really upped our run rate since coming in. We're only 113 behind now, that's on the pads. Treated with disdain by Ben Stokes. Away to the boundary at a rapid pace. Ben Stokes onto 19. It's getting comfortable at the moment with his partnership. Almost going at 1 a ball, Stokes has really sped us up, and he's just allowing us to play leg side a bit more confidently. That one's only a single. Malan back on strike. Final ball of the Starc over. He's generally bowled so wide to Malan, we've not really seen any highlights from him. He walks across and hits a single off this one. Might even be 2 because the fielder's a bit slow out there. David Malan finishes in style. And that is excellent work from England. 207 for 3. Well, we've got a maximum of 4 overs till the tea break now. Nathan Lyon back into Stokes. We've just got to avoid losing a silly wicket. If we can knock a couple of singles like that, then great. And we just try and leave anything wide. I don't want to get forced trying to play a cover drive like with Root and getting caught by the edge. Malan on strike, 1 away from 60, which would be a fabulous effort really. Onto the pads, easily away. And that will be it. Might even get a second here. No, that's a little ambitious. 209 for 3, Malan into the 60s. The beauty of this as well, if we can get to maybe 250 odd with this partnership, as Stokes will play another single there, Lyon's lost his shape completely. His rhythm's gone, his line's gone. It's getting really easy to deal with, which we've not been able to say the whole test match so far. But the beauty is then that Bairstow and Buttler can just go that bit more aggressive. 2 left in the over for Lyon, onto the stumps again. And it's just easy, flicked off the pads for 1. We can hit singles off these all day. I know it's not the most entertaining to watch, but you can't argue with the effectiveness. 4 singles off the 5 balls, getting him up to 2 and over. That one's even poorer. Right on the leg stump, and it's another single. 5 off it, 212 for 3. And England are making Australia look a bit tired now in the field. Stokes has put real impetus into this innings, not had to defend too much. 1, because the balls to him have been poor, but also because we're in such a good position. That's a thick edge though. We got very lucky there. It's only going to be 1. We'll take it. But it could have been a wicket. David Malan back on strike though. Cummins leaving that space down the ground, trying to force the drive, and he gets it. If you ask for it, if you leave the gap, that's what you're going to face. Another single. Need to stop the singles here, Australia. Just adding to the run rate a little too easily, but not stopping the singles by conceding a 4. It's a lovely shot by Stokes. Up to 218 for England, up to 28 for Stokes, and he's almost going at 6 and over. It's ridiculous at the minute. It's another one which was poor outside leg stump, but it's only going to be a single. And they're trying to rush another one in with spin. Stokes will face Lyon, onto 29 pretty swiftly here, and there's his 30th. Nathan Lyon was perfectly bowling just outside off in his first spell. In this one, everything's been on the stumps and easy to glance off the leg pad. Well, he's tried to respond to it. He's brought in a short fielder there, but what are we going to face? Stokes, oh no! Oh, it was a beautiful delivery. Just didn't react quick enough. It was an arm ball. It was a little bit quicker. And Lyon strikes again. Takes the edge of Malan in the 60s. It was a wonderful innings, 62 off 109. But unfortunately, it's the worst possible time to concede a wicket. Johnny Bairstow comes in. We can't have long till tea now. We've just got to stay in. Forget about the runs. In comes Lyon again to Bairstow. Onto the pads. Oh, they've gone for an LB shout. Don't you dare. Don't give that. I think it's going to be not out. But we might have an appeal. We might have a challenge because that was pretty close. Maybe just outside off. Well, we walk off an over early again. It was a wonderful over from Lyon to finish. 1 run, 1 wicket, and David Malan is gone. And it's a similar story to the last session, really. We looked confident for the first 2/3 of it. And then late on, we lost the 2 set batsmen. Cummins getting Root. It was a silly ball outside off that he didn't need to play at. He goes out for 38 off 89. And David Malan on the final over, 62 off 109. Nathan Lyon catching us with an arm ball. We were trying to play a cross leg stump, but it didn't spin. and in the end it took the edge through to the wicket-keeper. Carey gets his second catch there, but Stokes in looking phenomenal on 30, and Bairstow survives the last 4 balls. So we will be back for the final session of the second day in the next episode in a few days' time. Saturday, Monday and Wednesday morning for new episodes from This One UK time. Stokes and Bairstow looking to build the partnership as we're now less than 100 behind the Australia total. 220 for 4 after 59 overs, speeding up the run rate slightly and not too far to go. 93 runs and we'll have a first innings lead. If you did enjoy the episode though and the highlights of that session, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know how you're getting on with your Cricket 22 careers or your Ashes series if you're playing them. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. There's also 3 a week from this one as we just mentioned, and you can find links to the playlist in the eye above. A massive week of FM on the channel this time around. And you can also find the Twitch channel and a football podcast for other content too. A busy festive period to come on the channel. I hope you're all looking forward to it. And I'll see you next time for the end of day 2. As things, to be honest, are looking pretty decent. I'll see you next time.